Mass Russian drone attack on Ukraine's Kharkiv.
Strengthening trade and investment cooperation activities between Vietnam and Austria.
Goods exports shows positive signs since the beginning of the year.
You're watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Zhang, your host. Russian forces launched a mass drone attack on Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city, late on Wednesday, injuring 9 people and causing considerable damage.
Emergency services said the attack started 4 fires in the city center. The strikes caused serious damage to buildings. City officials said there had been at least 12 drone strikes on the city. A frequent target of Russia's military. Located some 30 kilometers from the border, Kharkiv resisted capture in the early weeks of Russia's February 2022 full-scale invasion of Ukraine, but has been repeatedly hit by drones and missiles, and Russian forces changed the focus of their campaign to Ukraine's east.
President Donald Trump announced on Wednesday plans to slap 25% tariffs on all imported cars, which he has long promised to U.S. voters.
About making America great again, making it strong.
Speaking in the Oval Office, the U.S. President announced that his administration will impose a 25% tax on all cars not manufactured in the U.S. Trump also said that U.S. car manufacturers will not be subject to the tax. This tax decision will take effect from April 2nd. The decision was made in the context that the U.S. imported up to $474 billion United States dollars worth of cars of all kinds last year, of which the import turnover of passenger cars was $220 billion United States dollars. Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Canada and Germany, close allies of Washington, are the largest suppliers to the U.S. car market. According to experts, the latest U.S. tax move will push up car prices and hinder production in this industry.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính hosted a reception in Hanoi on March the 26th evening for newly appointed Austrian ambassador to Vietnam, Philippe and Gatineau.
Vietnam is currently Austria's largest trading partner in ASEAN, and Austria is always in the top 10 export markets of Vietnam in the EU, with a trade turnover of about $2.45 billion United States dollars in 2024. In order to further promote the potential and strengths of the two countries, contributing to improving the bilateral relations in the coming time, PM Chin proposed the two sides promote the exchange of delegations at all levels, especially high-level ones, and step up cooperative activities to improve trade and investment exchanges. For his part, Ambassador Philip Agathonos affirmed that Vietnam is an important partner of Austria in the Southeast Asian region. He said that in addition to traditional areas of cooperation, the Austrian embassy will coordinate closely with Vietnamese partners to find new potential areas of cooperation, especially in the fields of science, technology, education, training, cyber security, nursing staff and railway infrastructure.
Coming up next are some updated news.
Vietnamese automaker Thanh Quang Group officially inaugurated its Thanh Quang Viet Hung automobile manufacturing plant at Viet Hung Industrial Park in Ha Long City of Quang Ninh. This is the first Škoda automobile factory in Vietnam and the ASEAN region. Completed within 25 months, the plant boasts a designed capacity of 120,000 vehicles per year. Ready to meet the latest trends in the automobile industry, Thanh Quang Viet Hung automobile plant is ready to expand cooperation with the European automobile technology industry to improve production capacity, technological capacity, and diversify product types from green cars, electric cars, internal combustion engine cars, special vehicles and specialized vehicles in the future.
Bloomberg said, Vietnam is the fastest-growing tourist destination in Southeast Asia, and it is currently ranked as the third most visited country by tourists in Southeast Asia, with 17.5 million international visitors in 2024, surpassing Singapore. These figures make Vietnam the regional leader in tourism recovery speed after the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition to many factors attracting tourists to Vietnam, The new e-visa policy applied in 2023 helps simplify entry procedures for tourists and allows stays for up to 90 days. Vietnam also exempts visas for more than 10 countries, including France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Russia, South Korea and Spain, and many more countries will be exempt from visas this March.
Kua Lo Sea Tourism Festival 2025 is just under a month away. Currently, urban beautification, environmental cleaning, food preparation are being prioritized by localities, restaurants, and accommodation facility owners to serve the people and tourists. According to statistics, Kua Lo coastal localities currently have more than 300 hotels and accommodation facilities with about 11,000 rooms. Each day, this system of facilities can serve about 30,000 guests. Kua Lo Sea Tourism Festival 2025 is expected to open on April 19th with many new and unique activities, promised to bring a vibrant, rich, and attractive tourist season to Kua Lo Beach.
Moving on to today's story. Following the growth momentum of 2024, in the first months of this year, the province's goods export turnovers continued to grow strongly, with a total turnover of $1 billion, an increase of 60% over the same period. Key items such as electronic equipment, footwear, textiles, and agricultural products continued to lead the growth momentum with impressive numbers.
In addition to the domestic market, which is still maintaining a growth momentum of over 30% over the same period, the Hoa Sun Joint Stock Company's export of deeply processed products to the European and South Korean markets is flourishing as orders and volume continuously increase. The company has to operate an additional production line, and workers work 3 shifts to keep up with the order progress.
Our company focuses on improving food safety and hygiene quality to meet the standards of demanding markets.
The recovery of the global economy and trade, the positive impact of free trade agreements that Vietnam has signed, along with the strong increase in foreign investment capital into the province has created favorable conditions for the province's production, business and export activities. The export turnover of goods up to this point has increased by nearly 60% over the same period, with more than $1 billion. Key items such as electronic equipment and components increased by more than 20%. Tablets increased by over 76%. Textiles and footwear increased by nearly 30%. The current export market has positive prospects, with increased demand from major markets such as the US, EU, India. We see great opportunities for export development, especially in the electronic components manufacturing industry. Currently, we are continuously expanding our scale. Factories, new projects are coming in massively. Export turnover in the coming time will increase rapidly. In addition to the strong growth in market, orders, and value, export enterprises are also facing challenges from geopolitical instability, especially the crisis in the Middle East, the increasing trend of trade protectionism in the world such as EU policies, the US's reciprocal tax policy, etc. We always coordinate with Vietnamese trade offices abroad and information channels to promptly update market fluctuations and trade policies of countries on items such as iron, steel, and wood in the province. In the first months of the year, the strong growth in export turnover will be the premise and driving force for this sector to reach the target of $4.5 billion this year. The important thing is to maintain and stabilize production, especially for key projects to create sources of goods, production, and export. Along with that are solutions to develop the market, adapt to business forms in the new situation.
Is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.